Hello, YouTube. It's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are talking 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, Season 5, Episode 16, Fuller House. So we're just going to get on right to it. Once again, I apologize for not doing a video last week. I was sick. We're also going to talk the last resort on this episode, on this video as well. So we're just going to get right onto it. So Kimberly and TJ, we'll start with them. They're still in their wedding. They're having a nice ceremony, nice Hindi tradition, Indian wedding. Their ceremony lasted all the way in the middle of the night. Started at 7, ended at like 4 a.m. and stuff. 4 or 5 a.m. Like, kudos to them. Kimberly was like, in America, weddings are just a little bit, and then you can go home and, you can do your thing with your husband or wife or whatever. So, Kimberly and TJ finally, after 2 days, 6 outfit changes, and so forth, they are finally officially married. So congratulations to Kimberly and TJ. And that was it we've seen from them. Next couple I want to talk is Kenny and Armando. So last week, Kenny and Armando talked to, Armando's daughter Hannah about them possibly having a baby, through surrogacy and all that. At first, Hannah was just like, I don't know, I don't want another baby, and she was like, you may forget about me and stuff. And Armando, being a great dad that he is, comfort little Hannah. It was like, you're always gonna be my number one. No one can replace you. This, and that. And little Hannah was like, are we gonna move to Mexico City? And what did you like? And they asked her, what did you like about Mexico City? And she said, the school. And so Armando said that, after talking to Hannah, Hannah was just like, if we have a baby, can we share the same room? It's like, oh, okay. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. So that happened last week. So this week, they, Kenny and Armando fly back over to Mexico City and to pick out their donor. They go to pick out their donor, and it was kind of like, they said it's kind of like a dating app, really. Like you're trying to pick the right one. Like, the person who was at the consultation was like, Kenny and Armando do have a type and everything, and they wanted somebody tall, somebody blonde and stuff and everything. And Kenny even said, like, you know what, at least we have the same taste in women and stuff. So, they're picking out their egg donor, and that was basically that. I still don't think that it's a good idea for them to have a baby at Kenny's age, being 60. That's just my opinion on that one. But yeah, that was Kenny and Armando. Next couple I want to talk is Sarper and Shekinah. So last week, Shekinah's sister, Shariah, came to Turkey to visit Sarper and Shekinah. And she came in hot last week. Sarper started cooking this meal with his hands, like cooking raw meat. Like, it was a little weird. Like, he was cooking raw meat and just like banging meat, like with his bare hands. Like, it wasn't really sanitary. And Shariah came in and was just like, I don't, you're basically a red flag. Like, why don't you want to post on social media and stuff and everything? Like, are you hiding something? Like, she just jumped on him so bad. And he's just like, I don't want to talk about it and stuff and everything. And they just went on and on and on. And she was just like, you know what? You're hiding something. And then, like, he had said that sometimes that Shekinah acts like the B word and a derogatory term, the SLUT word, basically. And I was like, who does he think he is to call somebody that, or to say that his woman acts like that when he's been with 2,500 women? Like, I don't know who that dude thinks he is. So Shariah left, and she's like, I can't do this anymore. I'm just going to get in my hotel. So Shekinah was just like stuck in the middle here. So she was like, you know what? Asking someone to see their social media. Like, she asked them, can we see the phone? And he was like, no, basically. Like, what do you have to hide? I'm not dating you. I just want to see your phone and stuff and everything. And she kind of was like, asking to see someone's phone is a little bit impulsive, but like, Sarper's reaction just wasn't cool. So in this episode, they like Shekinah had to talk with her sister, and it's just like give him a chance, give him a chance. So they go to dinner, they meet at dinner. Sarper did apologize for his behavior, and he promised that he will post a picture of him and Shekinah on social media and stuff. And case closed. I don't think he'll do it, but he did agree to it. So yeah, that was just that. And who else are we going to talk? We didn't see Danielle and Johan this week. We seen them last week. Danielle and Johan last week. They talked to the life coach, and he got through to Johan a little bit. They hugged and kissed, whatever. But I don't think it ain't over between Danielle and Johan. And then the last couple was Brandon and Mary. So Brandon and Mary, as we all know, Mary's pregnant, and they're about to get married. This episode, Brandon and Mary go dress shopping and tuxedo shopping for the wedding because they're 2 weeks out for the wedding. They go shopping and try on their stuff, whatever. Then later, they go and catch some frogs. They go frog hunting, and they caught 15 frogs out in the field and stuff. And apparently they're going to feed the mom. Brandon's mom is coming. So Brandon's mother, we've seen her at the beginning of the season when she said that her and Brandon don't have the best relationship growing up. Her mom is a recovering addict and stuff. And she didn't like how Mary was so possessive and didn't like him talking to other girls that wasn't the mom or her sister and everything. And she was manipulative. So she comes to the Philippines and for the wedding, and Brandon and Mary go pick her up. And Mary is just every time I talk to Brandon's mom, she's always the B word to me and stuff. And I'm like, that's a nice thing to say about your mother-in-law. Just saying, Mary. Just saying. So she gets picked. They pick her up. They pick her up in the village, and Brandon's mom was just shocked to see the poverty in the Philippines. I'm like, yeah, well, you kind of knew that, but it was kind of a culture shock for her, so she wasn't used to seeing that. She was just like, oh my God, this is real, basically. So they meet. She meets up with Brandon and Mary, and when she saw Mary, she was just they just did a handshake. Mary had that evil look in her face and Brandon's mom was just just changed the subject. She was like, why are you so white or something like that and everything. And, Mary didn't say anything. It was just giving her the look. And the mom was just like, I don't like Mary. I don't care what Brandon says, be nice to Mary is going to offend Mary. I don't care. I don't like Mary and all that. So they didn't really have a conversation. And she was just giving her the RBF face. So yeah, that was just basically that. I mean, that was basically it for the episode. That was just basically it on the episode. Congratulations to Kimberly and TJ for finally tying the knot after a long 2-day wedding. We didn't see Holly and Wayne. We haven't seen them in a few weeks since they got married. Kenny and Armando, they're about to have trying to get a baby. Brandon and Mary, they're bringing the best drama so far this season. Sarper and Shekinah. I feel like Sarper is really aggressive, and I'm a little worried about that. I'm worried about his relationship with Shekinah because he is really aggressive. So yeah, that's the end of that recap. So I'm going to talk a little bit about The Last Resort before I conclude. So The Last Resort, we're only a couple episodes left. We're only an episode left before the commitment ceremony, before the last episode. So in the last week on The Last Resort, Jovi decides to take Ed and Asuelu out to the strip club. Now, we all know Jovi. Ever since we met Jovi back in season 8 of 90 Day Fiancé, he loves them in his strip clubs, and Yara can't stand that. So he decides to take the boys out. The girls have their own little time together, and they're like exposing themselves to each other and stuff and everything. Now, the controversy about it is that Ed told Liz that he was going to the strip club, and she actually gave him permission, but she had it on. Jovi had called Liz and said, "Can you give Ed permission to go to the strip club?" And she said yes, but not saying that the other girls heard it on speaker and stuff, basically. So they get permission to go to the strip club. Last week they go to the strip club, and like Asuelu and Ed basically, Joey looked out for them, but strippers were like on them and grinding and stuff. They do what they do. Joey is like, you gotta look but don't touch. And Asuelu and Ed were touching last week and stuff. They even tried to call Michael on the phone and stuff. And when Michael picked up the phone, he was just like, Joey, my wife would kill me. I'm hanging up. And they called again and stuff. And he answered again and then hung up again. So later, Michael calls Angela while she's hanging out with the girls and said Jovi called, and and I saw that they're at the strip club, but I hung up and everything. And then at first Angela's like, well, good job, Michael, good job. But then she got mad when he answered. He said that he called back and I answered. He's like, why'd you answer back the second time and everything? So Liz decides to tell Angela, gets the phone off of Angela and tells Michael, why don't you just, for Angela, just to calm Angela down, why don't you just take a screenshot of the call log and to see and everything? And Michael's like, I don't have access to do that. Michael. Michael. And Angela's like, this is why I bought the divorce papers. So we had a, typical Angela moment. But that was last week's episode. This week, and also last week, Kalani's like hall pass guy that she kind of has feelings for, actually has more feelings for than Asuelu, came to visit, and she snuck off the resort with him and spent the night with him and got their groove on with him. And now Asuelu now knows about it. So now in this week's episode, she calls in an emergency meeting with the experts, with the therapist, and tell Asuelu the truth that, hey, the guy that I had the hall pass with, he was here, and like I stuck off with him. We had breakfast. We were just gonna talk, but then one thing led to another, and we just got it going on and stuff. And Asuelu's crying, and at this point, Kalani and Asuelu are just about to get divorced. I understand that Asuelu has done so much in the past, and Kalani's sick of it. So, she is really rubbing salt to the wound here. Like, she is making Asuelu feel the pain that he put her through all these years, and she is doing it viciously. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I personally wouldn't be that vicious, but hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So they have to deal with that. Meanwhile, Jovi, Yara, Ed and Liz, Angela and Michael decide to go on a boat ride and everything. And while they're on the boat ride, just all hell breaks loose. A lot of commotion. It started like Ed makes a joke on the boat and says, I hope this boat takes us to the strip club and stuff. And then Liz got mad and yelled at Jovi, why did you have the nerve to call me to lie for him and stuff and everything? And as we know, Yara is irritated, like, cause she's mad that, Jovi has the strip club addiction and everything. He used to hook up with strippers in the past and all that. So she's irritated as it is. So Ed calls out Jovi to Yara. He told Yara, do you know who Jovi was texting last night? And she was like, who? And he was like, some stripper that he used to hang out with to go to Costa Rica with or whatever. And Yara flipped out. She was like, you texting other strippers? You went to Costa Rica for her for 2 weeks. Why would you text her? And Jovi was just like, oh, I was just trying to have fun with the guys. Nothing happened, all that. Just being nonchalant about it. Typical Jovi, just being nonchalant about it and everything, and just acting like it's not a big deal. He knows that his wife can't stand him going to strip clubs. He knows that he's married and has a kid, and he still likes to be doing that. Yara is a beautiful lady, and everything. So I don't know why he has the need and the will to want to go to a strip club and stuff. He's got a really beautiful woman there, and he is just like ruining his marriage so much because he's still in that party lifestyle. Dude, you're in your 30s now. Like, grow up, basically. So, like, Yara gets mad and she throws a drink on him and everything on the boat and stuff. And then Angela and Liz go comfort Yara and said, and she's crying and they go to comfort her and everything. And Angela and Liz are so irritated at Jovi about it. Like, we're thinking, you know what? Now I'm starting to see their relationship. Liz was like, Jovi gets mad at Ed for how he treats me, but look how what Jovi's treating Yara, basically. So we go back, so everybody comes back, and then like Jovi's mad at Ed like for like calling him out and stuff and everything. And he was like, I feel like Ed's trying to put me on blast and stuff. And Yara's like, don't blame Ed, he was just letting me know and everything. Now, I was team Ed on this case until now. Then Ed said something really below the belt. Ed was like, Jovi, like, why are you mad at me? Like, own up to your stuff. Like, why don't you tell and then he said this, why don't you tell your daughter where you were at and stuff? And I was just like, ooh. Nah, I was actually team Ed until he said that. And then Jovi flipped out. He was like, I will punch you in your face if you bring my daughter in. So he got up, about to square up to him and stuff. Liz and security had to like step in and prevent Jovi from something. He was like, you bring my daughter into this, I will mess you up, Ed. I'll mess you up, blah, 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 and everything. And Ed's just like, bring it on and stuff and everything. But that got broke up real quick. Yara's like, you know what? Told Ed, listen, I appreciate you having my back, but do not bring my daughter in this. That's a sensitive topic and everything. Ed apologized, whoop-de-doo, and everything. Liz is upset because she's like, Ed does not know when to shut up. And I agree, he does not know when to shut up. And she had to step in and to prevent Jovi from punching him and stuff. So later, they get off the boat and stuff. Jovi's so irritated because everybody had done called him out. He goes back to the hotel, and then Yara comes, and they have a discussion about it. Didn't go well. Yara called him basically a piece of scum, basically. And then, at the end of the episode, Ed and Liz get into a fight because Ed gonna tell Liz, you should have not interjected yourself into that situation and everything. And she was like, how am I not supposed to? She's like, you made me look weak. And she was like, I made you look weak? At least I was sticking up for you. And he was like, you should have not interjected yourself in that situation. So she just basically said, F off, Ed, and stuff. And that irritated me so much. And I was just yelling at the TV when I saw that. Every single time Ed gets into an argument or altercation with somebody else, he somehow blames Liz. Liz did not do nothing. She tried to stop it and stop him and stuck up for him. And he's still mad. He's always mad about her. Oh, you need to have your man's back and everything. And then she has his back and now he can't take it. He was like, oh, I don't want her to be in a dangerous position. So I'm like, okay, I understand that. But still, she still had your back and you're still yelling at her. Every time he gets in an altercation, remember at the beginning of the season when him and Kelly got into it, he blamed Liz for that one. And then what's sad is that at the beginning of the season when Angela and Liz got into it, he gonna say, oh, you deserve that from Angela. You deserve that and stuff. So, like, I cannot take it every time he starts some drama with other people, and at the end of the night, he blames Liz and stuff, and Liz is crying and stuff and don't know she's going to leave with him before the commitment ceremony. Ed irritates me. I'm irritated at Ed. I'm irritated at Jovi in this episode. And I feel bad for Asuela, but Asuela, the only person who's doing well is Michael. I'm proud of Michael. Michael ended up sending a screenshot call log to Angela. So I really hope they don't get divorced next week and stuff. But yeah, only Michael is the only one who is doing well on this retreat. Because like Jovi needs to grow up, quit going to the strip club, Quit irritating Yara. And Yara is actually starting to grow on me. I never used to be a big fan of Yara in the beginning, but now I'm seeing the problem that is actually more Jovi. I thought it was both of them at first, but the problem more is Jovi and stuff. And like I'm sick of it. Now, spoiler alerts, Ed and Liz are still together. Jovi and Yara are still together. Angela and Michael, I seen a recent picture of them on Instagram and stuff. False rumors about Michael being here, but that ain't true. The only couple I don't know about is Kalani and Asuelo. I'm guessing they're getting divorced, and Molly and Kelly, who left early. So, but yeah, Jovi and Ed, grow up, please. Y'all fighting over dumb stuff, and neither one of you are fighting right for your relationship. So I was really ticked off at both Jovi and Ed in this episode because yeah. Anyway, guys, that is the end of my review. I had to double team on that one to do The Other Way and The Last Resort. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back on tomorrow to recap Catfish, and I'll see y'all again soon. So have a great day, guys. Stay safe.